Before you turn off this screen, notice what you are doing right now. Scrolling, halfway listening to a video, letting tomorrow's tasks crowd your attention. We often fill this exact time because the silence that happens right before we close our eyes feels like a space that needs to be occupied. That quiet window is the only threshold in your entire day where your mind is finally free from external demands. It belongs entirely to you. This chart shows the inverse relationship between your physical movement and your mental activity at night. The second your physical body stops moving, your brain registers that the environment is finally safe enough to process the accumulated stress of the entire day. Your cognitive load spikes precisely when you are trying to reach a state of calm. When that sudden flood of racing thoughts arrives, fighting them, or getting frustrated that you aren't asleep yet, signals to your brain that there is an active problem to solve, which only generates more wakefulness. Reaching a state of rest requires you to identify the specific burdens you are still carrying from the last 16 hours and make the conscious choice to set them down. Sleep is not an automatic switch that flips in the dark. It is a psychological transition of letting go. You have to leave the day behind before your mind will allow you to enter rest. A tired mind circling the same worry at midnight rarely produces a useful answer. Attempting to solve complex problems or finalize tasks while lying in the dark is an inefficient use of your remaining energy. Acknowledge what remains unfinished, the emails in your drafts or the decisions you delayed. Postponing these until morning gives your problems a rested mind that has capacity to solve them, rather than a depleted one that can only rehearse them. This visual comparison shows the difference between morning and nighttime reflection. While the morning looks forward along a branching timeline of possibilities, nighttime looks backward along a singular, solid line. The day has already revealed itself exactly as it happened. There is no longer a version where it turns out differently. Acknowledging that you simply showed up and handled things provides a realistic account of the day. It validates the effort you spent, regardless of whether the day felt productive or successful. When the lights go out, the physical distractions of the day are removed. Without that background noise, unaddressed anxieties are suddenly amplified, speaking at full volume because there is nothing left to drown them out. Instead of trying to ignore a racing fear, acknowledge it directly. Tell yourself you will look at the issue tomorrow morning when your cognitive capacity returns. This deferral allows the mind to stop the immediate cycle of alarm. Anxious imagination in the dark is a poor predictor of actual outcomes. Our fears feel heavier at this hour because we are viewing them through the lens of exhaustion, not because the problems themselves have grown. While your mind processes the day, your body has been quietly keeping a physical record of that stress, absorbing tension hour by hour. By the time you lie down, you are likely holding unconscious tightness in your jaw, even your shoulders and your hands. You have to deliberately release that tension. Drop your shoulders, unclench your teeth, and let your hands go soft. Biological sleep cannot take hold in a body that is still physically braced for a demand. Physical relaxation signals safety to your nervous system. You must convince the body it is no longer under threat before the mind is permitted to power down. Entering sleep requires you to stop managing the world for a few hours. It is an exercise in trust, the belief that the things you have worked for will still be there when you return. The daytime is defined by control and management, but the nighttime requires you to release that grip and allow things to exist without your active supervision. This timeline illustrates how sleep acts as a definitive boundary. It creates a hard close on today's events, separating a cluster of unresolved moments from the empty space of the next day. Tomorrow is a new set of hours, unburdened by the specific weight or the mistakes of the day you just finished. Rest is not a reward you have to earn by completing a checklist or having a perfect day. It is a biological requirement of the body you inhabit. You are entitled to this pause simply because you are tired and the day is done. Real rest is finally achieved when you stop trying to manage tomorrow's outcomes. Set down today's burdens, loosen your grip on the waking world, and allow the silence to take over. Good night.